and good day to you. So, today we are going to talk about healing in our times. As we speed up to the changing of our world, moving into the fifth dimension, so many things are changing around us. We are finding that people's worlds are falling apart. I mean, I keep saying this, it feels like I'm saying this every single day, but it is the truth of what it is, unfortunately. With a result that everybody is seeking desperately to heal whatever is not working for them. So when we talk about healing, we're not only talking about physical healing, although that is a very, very big part of it. But right now we are seeing people who are coming forward looking for healing on a physical level, on an emotional level, and most definitely on a spiritual level. People are quite desperate to get some form of help. And this is not surprising because this is the way it has been for so long, that we go outside of ourselves to look for help. For many, many, many years we've been going to doctors, putting absolute faith and trust in their hands, feeling that they've got all the answers to our problems because they have science behind them. Then in the last few years there's been quite a shift away from that, and a lot of people have started going to homeopaths because they no longer trusted allopathic medicine. We've had a lot of people going to various healers, whether it be Reiki, whether it be people who do reflexology, who just do massaging, whatever it may be. So many people have been searching for alternatives to the conservative medical field. In spite of all of that, however, we are still seeing a world where people are absolutely trapped in fear, trapped in pain, trapped in discomfort, trapped in depression, which is one of the biggest ones that we're all dealing with at the moment. And that has to do with the fact that very few people know who they are, where they stand. Now, if I do not know where I stand, nobody else is going to know. The more I have been doing readings and been getting channels through, the more Spirit is saying to me, the world is changing, my girl. You can no longer do things the way you used to do them. You can no longer look at anybody else for your answers. Right up front, at the very core of our lives, at the very core of our being, is the knowingness that our I Am presence resides within us. Lies the knowingness that we have all the power that we need right here within us to do whatever it is that we need to do to change our lives, to sort it out, to heal it. Now, the people around us who have chosen to become healers, I need to say very, very importantly that every one of us has the ability to be a channel for healing energy for somebody else. Every person has the ability to do that. Just as every single person in the world can run 100 meters or can hit a ball. But that does not make every person an athlete or a super tennis player. So we have a lot of people who just did not find themselves comfortable in the world, wanting to bring themselves to the world, wanting to contribute, wanting to help. And they have then become healers. They've become healers because they've become aware of the energy that flows through them when they work, when they meditate. That energy is so powerful, and it's the energy of spirit moving within us. When it starts to move in us, it's very humbling. In fact, it's incredibly humbling, and it makes us feel so good. And it's not an ego type of feel good. It just is a real feeling of, I know this feels so right, and I would love to share this. So many people have gone off and studied Reiki, studied so many types of healing. It is just too much to count, and growing, increasing by the day. And in spite of all of that happening, Spirit is still saying to us, sorry, what you did as healing in the past is now only about 40% effective. Definitely not as effective as it used to be before. Why, you may ask, why would that be the case? Well, the reason for that is there are multiple reasons for that. The very first reason is that Spirit is expecting of us to get back in touch with our own spirit. The energies are becoming so discordant and kind of dislocated from each other, from where it's at, from the people, that we are having to bring ourselves back to center. We are having to call back our power. And until we do this, nothing is going to help. Until each one of us can stand in our center and call to us the light that we need, call to us the power that we need, nothing else is going to work for us. We need to be able to stand up, to stand in our power, and to bring healing to ourselves. Now, this is not something that we're comfortable with. And why can't we? Why can't we just go for some Reiki? Or for some other form of healing? Energy medicine, energy healing. There is no one person who can create healing within you unless you decide at a core level to be healed. It is only when you make that decision, it is only when you make the choice to be healed on a very deep level that will happen for you, not in any other way. Now let us look a little bit at frequencies. Frequencies are extremely important. Everything in the universe works at different frequencies. Everything in the universe is tuned in to different frequencies. So you may walk into a place where you feel very uncomfortable, where you feel the energy is low, this is draining, and that is because the energy in that place is lower than your own frequencies. Then, on the other hand, you will walk into a place where you feel uplifted, you feel so much better. And that is because the frequency in that particular place is so much higher. This is basic stuff. This is no magical science. But it's something that we don't pay attention to. We don't pay attention to the fact that the frequencies of people, of circumstances, of places, everything around us is different. So we may have some very good friends. We may have healers who we absolutely adore. But if they work on a different frequency to you, and most particularly on a lower frequency than you may be at, they are just pushing a river, but they're pushing against it, because they can then not work to heal you. Their intent may be pure, But if they're working at a different frequency than your frequency, it is not going to help. The other thing is that when we do healing, some people think that the healing comes from them. Some people think that they are the healers. The truth is, yes, we all have the ability to heal. But we all do the healing that we do hand in hand, or we should all do the healing that we do hand in hand with Spirit. Because I know for a fact that there are a lot of people out there who do not always feel so positive around their clients as they could be. So you get somebody who has just had a major blow up with their partner, or with it could be a business partner, could be a relationship partner. This person is unhappy, their energy is low, their frequency is busy slowing down. You walk in, you need to be uplifted, you need to be given some healing. And that person is not able to do that. Please be very clear that you will get energy flowing through you at the frequency that you are at. So if you are maintaining a low frequency energy, then the energy that you bring to the healing will be quite a low energy. If you are able to hold a high frequency healing, that will be a different story. And specifically, if your client needs to be uplifted, will that energy help to do so? We are all just human, and we all operate at different levels. So what we do is we try and bring everything to our healing. We try and bring everything to our clients. But that's not always possible. Because also, depending on their frequency, we are not always able to see what it is that needs to be healed. Because people are masters at hiding their truth. Absolute masters. So you may be trying your utmost to heal somebody who is not working with you, where this person may have inflammation somewhere in their body, whether it be a bladder infection or anything else, because they are pissed off with someone, and you now work on healing that. Trust me, you are not going to be able to heal that. Because until they change their dynamic, until they change their narrative, they are not going to bring any change to you and what you tell them they should be doing. No, because they are invested. They're invested in that not happening. The true way for all of us to work, however, is to call in the energy of the guides who work with us, of the angels, and any other beings who can and do work with us on a regular basis. And here again is a very interesting thing. We have found, and we've been told on various occasions, that we have people who work with us, whether it be angels, whether it be Arcturians, whether it be Pleiadians, it really doesn't matter. But when they work with us, they use us purely as channels. They use us as channels because sometimes the healing that they need to bring for somebody, the person is at such a low frequency, and one of those who just cannot sit still. They cannot sit still. They cannot open themselves up to receive. And in that instance, these healers will come in and use us as channels for their energy. And the energy that they bring in is sometimes so high that it doesn't matter what we do, we could never match that. We could never match that. All we can do is be like channels, like conveyors for their energy that they bring in. And they will very often do that. They will very often come into our energy field and place symbols or thoughts or words, whatever it is that they are guided to do, they will place in our energy field using us as conduits. Now, understand that if somebody is doing that very high frequency work, it does not mean that they are living their life at that frequency. It does mean that Spirit has chosen to use them because maybe they are humble enough for the process. Maybe Spirit can just know that this person's commitment is of such a nature that they're not going to try and change, overrule, or interfere with the spiritual healing that's being brought. So we need to understand that Spirit will always work through us. Spirit will work through us at the frequency that we are at, and they will use us, and in the process of them using us, we are being changed, we are being uplifted, and the people are receiving healing. The thing is that if they have not completely committed to receiving healing, if they have not 100% surrendered to the process of healing, then it doesn't matter what you or I say. Having said all of that, we also need to understand that we are in a position at the moment where every single person is going through change. Every single person is going through challenges. And there are changes that are happening that is so deep and so important. And our frequencies need to be shifted. Our bodies, the frequency of our physical bodies need to be changed. And for this reason, we have got Pleiadians involved. We have got the angels working much harder than they did before. We've got the Arcturians involved. We've got various other people from other galaxies involved. Or I'm calling them people, but they're not. They're energy beings. And they are working with us. Sometimes they use people, as I've just mentioned, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they work directly with us. But they are very finely tuned to each and every one of us. And it's really important that we respect and understand each person's process. So when people are going through real difficulty right now, it is because they have chosen this. It is because they've chosen to heal. It is because they have chosen not to heal in the past, that their spirit is now pushing them and saying to them, find out who you are, find out where your light is, find out where your healing is, because we are here to help you. But we cannot do that without your help. So we are being pushed. We are being pushed with our backs against the wall in many instances, so that we can exercise our free will and hopefully exercise it for the highest good of all. Now, what is important is that people are going through tremendous difficulties. And it has happened on more than one occasion that I have reached out to groups, and a lot of other people have done the same, and said, so and so is going through difficulty. Please hold light. And immediately, every single person who does healing, who has ever done healing, who has ever done any form of training, of healing training, kicks into action and starts doing healing on the people involved. Folks, if we are being asked to do healing, then that is that person, that individual coming to you and asking you to please do healing on them, not somebody else. I am not allowed to ask you to do healing on any one person, the only person who can ask for healing is the individual who wants it himself or herself. Nobody else can ask for healing on your behalf. It doesn't matter what happens. Even if somebody is lying in a coma. Because if somebody is lying in a coma, then, and most particularly when people are in that state, they are normally in very, very deep conversation with their spirit. They are very often then negotiating whether they want to stay or whether they want to go. And when we come in then and we do healing, we are actually interfering in the process. We are interfering in the process of somebody who is going through intense healing crises, because we do not know what frequency they are operating at. We have no idea. We have no idea what their needs are. We do not know if they need to have their contracts with their previous lives rescinded. We don't know. We don't know if they need to have their previous lifetimes, their generations cleared. It's not for me to know that. I have no right to go in and do that kind of thing. I have no right to go in and say, oh, your throat chakra is blocked, or your solar plexus is blocked, or whatever the case may be. We have no right. The only time we have the right to interfere, interact, or bring healing is in a one-on-one situation. And please understand, at this moment in time, when you do that, there is no guarantee that the healing will take place. There is no guarantee, because that person on a soul level may have said with their mouths, with their intellect, that they want healing, but on a soul level, they are still hiding out. They're still hiding from themselves. They're still hiding from spirit. Only the individual, him or herself, can truly, truly bring healing to themselves. The guides are saying this more and more every single day. It is becoming more and more important that we understand it. It is becoming imperative, in fact, that we understand that in order for us to heal into the fifth dimension, if I can put it that way, we have to do it ourselves. It is like being born, it is like dying, because we are dying to the fourth dimension. No person will be able to carry us across the threshold into the fifth dimension. It is not going to happen. What then is expected of us when somebody asks us to hold light for them? When we are asked to hold light for someone, we are asked to go inside of ourselves. We are asked to dig deep. We are asked to create a sacred space in our hearts and our minds where we can place the light and the love that flows from the God force through us, through our heart center, to this person. And we create a bubble or a vortex of light, a bubble may be the better one, where their soul can go. Because your light is so beautiful, your love is so enlightening, that when you place it to make it available, another soul will always see it, will always find it. And when they are running short, when for them the door or the window to their own heart is not so clear, when for them the path is so difficult that they have to tread, That, my beloveds, is when. That is when they will draw on your light. That is when your light and your love will give them the courage, will give them the strength that they need to take the next step, to make the next decision, to keep going. I've been told so many times by people, please thank the group because I feel them. I could feel that I was being carried. I could feel the energy there, available to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is all you need to do. Nothing more and nothing less. You simply have to show up as your divine self and hold that person in your mind, your energy. Beautiful light energy is more than enough. Never ever doubt that whether you are doing healing or just being yourself, anyone who comes into your space is healed or is given the opportunity to heal, but is uplifted when you stand in your light. And when you stand in your light with them in mind, it just makes it so much more powerful for them and for you. For you become the conduit of light, and you cannot help but feel that love and that light flow through you. Blessed be.